likes niggas like Rudy Gobert, Hassan Whiteside over Bam. For whatever reason it is, he likes the old school centers. He likes the dinosaurs.
I'm gonna be real with you, Cruz. I don't want to cut you off just a split second. I'm gonna just say this outright, Ops. I think it's a fucking travesty that he won Defensive Player of the Year this year. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. I
I
think
was gonna
it's a
bring that up.
fucking
I had that in my
travesty.
notes.
But I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead, Cruz. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So, Ops, listen. Rudy Gobert. That game 7, he played well. I was gonna say that he played well, and they did go on a run when he was on the court in the third quarter, even though he had 2 points. They did go on a run despite him being in the lineup. In the fourth quarter, in the fourth quarter, he did show up. He hit those fadeaways. There were prayers, but he hit them.
That's not
And
Rudy Gobert showing up. That's not Rudy
no,
Gobert showing up.
and then he did get 3 offensive rebounds that were huge,
That's Rudy Gobert showing up.
huge. But it's not far fetched to hear Anthony Edwards say, "Yo, the minute Rudy Gobert hit those shots, we knew he was gonna win because he actually provided something that he really can't provide. So if he's providing that while they still have the size, then it gave him a better shot at winning Game 7. But the Rudy Gobert stuff, the fact that Karl Anthony Towns, to your point, to the fact that Karl Anthony Towns played Jokic better than Rudy Gobert, it already negates, it already puts a question mark to Rudy's defense.
You're
Because
wrong about that, Al.
Wait, what?
You're wrong about that.
The fact that Karl Anthony Towns played Jokic better puts question into Rudy Gobert's defense, to me. Because he's the defensive player of the year, right? And the reason Karl Anthony Towns played Jokic better, even though they sent the double, just like they sent the double sometimes where Rudy was there, was because Karl Anthony Towns, he muscled them up more and didn't let him pin them up under the basket for his fadeaway little floater that he does, for his pivots and floaters. That's why Anthony Towns did better than Rudy, in my opinion, guarding Jokic. When Rudy's on Jokic just muscles him up, gets him under the rim, and it's good night. But the fact that Anthony Towns played better defense than Rudy, it clarifies all my comments about Rudy's stats being glorified for his defensive player of the year, which is basically that's what Gianni says. Oh well, look at his stats. That's his defensive player of the year. So basically, half of the trolling in the what is the word I'm looking for? Not the connotation, not the derogatories, but the it's just because of Gianni. That's
Yeah.
all.
Who do you think should have won it?
No, I mean the Wolves did their thing. I picked Denver in 6.
No, you're talking about who you
I'm
think should have
saying,
won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So to me, defensive player of the year, it needs to be a player that's versatile. It needs to be a defensive player that you could be like, yo, play the point guard, yo, play the center. I know
So
not a
Bam?
lot of players. No, I could say either Wemby or AD. I like Bam too.
Wemby for sure.
I like Bam too. Listen, Wemby.
Wemby averaged every defensive stat better than Rudy.
Yeah, but listen,
Yo,
Wemby
KG said
actually
it
played.
today.
Wemby
didn't win because the NBA be on that bullshit. Oh, he's a rookie, this and that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to
That
say
kid was
the
way
same
better than
shit.
fucking Gobert. Like,
Yep.
I don't need rocket science to tell me when I saw that kid play defense. No, crazy. He should have won it.
He
easy.
should have won it. He should have won it. Yeah, for
he
sure.
actually
No,
played
I think.
Good yes.
perimeter defense.
No, I
Go
think.
ahead.
I think.
Sorry.
I think the reason I think the reason Wemby didn't get it is because the team sucked and they weren't a good defense overall. He was
And it's
phenomenal, but the team. I think that's the part of the NBA that's
no,
like,
you're right.
if the team is
You're
bad,
right.
They get it bad.
That's
do
the
that.
basic. That's the
do
basic
that.
thing. That's what people don't take into consideration. Guys, do you guys know who votes for these fucking awards? So
Yes, the
it's
journalists
easy for them. Number
and
one
some coaches.
defense rated.
Yeah, it's like
Shit,
Chris
that
Iannucci
got
from
us.
Oakland Beach, the fucking ref.
Yeah, Rachel Nichols, I think, has a vote for this. So it's
Rachel
like,
No,
Nichols,
but
Stephen A.
Doris
Smith.
Burke.
go ahead.
but I
Yeah,
do
it's
think
all
I do think I do think
JJ
there's
Redick.
gotta be
But
something added to if you're what you're doing is contributing to winning and and because this is a problem. You like that would be like okay, all right, Wemby was amazing on defense, right? But the team was terrible. Now that can be said for like any like it's like you would have to paint you would have to like be specific about every single player and every single situation where a player is highly productive but the team is not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have to analyze it like it would be tough to generalize that where it's easier to generalize like all right, this guy is highly productive and he does it on the winning in a winning situation. It's like, you know what I'm saying? A guy like when Bradley Beal was averaging 30 and going crazy, did he deserve first, second team All NBA? Because he was doing it on a terrible, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't contributing towards nothing. Y-
I agree and disagree. The NBA does do that. Like the MVP is the best player on the best team. Usually the best team that wins what like 60 games, 65 games, whatever. But I feel like defensive player of the year it needs to be more concentrated on what they do individually and the way they change in the game. So like we seen Wemby change the game where niggas really didn't. You know how G says, "Yo, niggas changed their shot at the rim because Rudy's there."
That's
That
true though. That's
I
true.
don't I don't really see that, bro.
Bro,
I don't
I
really see that.
literally it's crazy because I never watched Rudy Gobert so intently since these last arguments we've had. And when like, bro, I counted at least
So
like three, four, five shots in that game, like Jamal Murray specifically, like coming off that pick and roll, going to the basket, where he's throwing up a shot that is like you can tell he's uncomfortable putting up that shot. And that's, I mean,
so
like I said, we if you want to talk a little more about the defensive player of the year, we can. But I wanted, like you know, what I'm saying, I wanted to just kind of give, my deposition
all
on
right,
the Rudy Gobert
before
conversation.
you go, let me finish that point about changing the
Yeah.
shot at the rim. So, as a ball player, ops, what I'm trying to say is, it's easier to manipulate Rudy Gobert when he's in that drop coverage to get a
Mm-hmm.
little floater over him, to give him an up fake, and he jumps. It's easier to manipulate Rudy basketball wise than it is to Wemby for me. Wemby was more disciplined. He's taller, and he plays guards better than Rudy. Like I don't like I'm not gonna say like obviously Kyrie's probably the best finisher ever, but you like it's easier to manipulate Rudy when he's in that drop coverage for a lay than it is for Wemby. That's what I was trying to say. Like it's like Anthony Davis, he plays guards better coming at the rim than Rudy or at the perimeter. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so Rudy Gobert, bro, at the end, like, whether he should have won Defensive Player of the Year or not, I don't even care.
Yep.
But I understand, you know what I'm saying, what happened. And I mean, at the end of the day, you have to like, okay, there's issues. Like the conversation was, like, all right, you're playing with size. You're going to give up some other things, right? Like any way you want to go about it, plenty ways to skin a cat. You want to play small, you're going to be susceptible to some things, which is fine. And the people playing small know what they're going to be susceptible to, and they're going to try to lean away from that. And same with the people playing that's playing with size, you know what I'm saying? So my point was, damn, I lost my train of thought. But
I'll pick up for you if you want to take a.
yeah,
So
go
I
ahead.
agree with I'll let Cheese go. Yeah, go ahead, Cheese. I was just gonna answer him with because he tried to compare that. He tried to say they tried to do the same thing that the Lakers did with size. But go ahead, D.
They did, bro. They just
No,
flat out did.
go ahead, D.
All right. So what do you want to?
So you want? I mean, I could answer. I can answer Ops' point. I mean, if
For
you're
me,
gonna answer
Ops,
what
I'll
Op
tell
said,
you in two
or you
seconds
gonna,
why I think. First, I know the defensive player of the year part. I'll tell you very easily why I think it's a travesty. It doesn't. It doesn't take to me into consideration like how the game is played. Rudy, by all accounts, we all know this. He's considered an elite weak side defender. I agree with you, Ops. what he does is at an elite level. He's a presence around the rim. The problem to me is in this NBA ops, we know schematically how the game's played in this era. There's people that are asked to do way more defensively than him in this era of basketball. That's why I'm telling you it's a travesty. In 1992, in the 90s, when the game was predicated on low post touches first, work inside out, the bigs mattered schematically, I would understand why a big man wanted in that because you were tasked with defending the rim at a high level. But the way the game's playing now, there's legit people with a lot on their plate that truly have to do everything defensively. That's why I call it a travesty. So there's that.
Yeah.
Regardless if you disagree, that's just my stance. From a
Nah, like
schematic point of view, I don't agree with it.
I
But
said overall. What was you gonna say?
I'm agreeing with you, Ops. Like, he's elite at what he does. I don't agree with Goose on that part. I understand he is good at what he does. But I just think there's people that do more in this climate of the NBA. Players, like I said, the offenses are more expanded. Therefore, there's defensive players that have to do more, and they do more on a nightly basis. Like,
Yeah.
and that's
They gotta
to
be
me why
versatile.
I call it a travesty.
Right?
Now, what happened?
Players that can do more, they're more versatile, right? That's really
For
important.
sure,
There.
for sure.
Yeah,
Nigga had me like a fat bitch outside the club waiting to get in. The fuck, ops?
nah, because we was at capacity. Who left? Oh, Rooster
Nah,
left.
hell no. Kenny left. Been left, nigga.
Nah, Kenny's here. It was
Kenny's in
Rooster who
here.
left.
Can
I
you
Nah,
didn't
be
Roost,
realize. My
Roost
fault.
left.
But yeah,
And
nah.
Kenny ain't saying shit.
Like I said, Rudy go. At the end of the day,
I'm a
I don't like
spectator for now.
Rudy Gobert, I don't give a fuck about. And whether he
We
won Defensive Player of the Year, I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I kept enough track of it to have
Yeah,
like a real opinion on it. But yeah, I mean the conversation, which I know, like there's nothing to argue here because you know what I'm saying. I
it's just
know,
trolling.
yeah,
All
it's
right, well,
simple. Like,
wait, ops. Let's advance the conversation then.
all right,
All right,
what do
now
you want?
let's put it
No, but let me.
to this series.
I wanted to bet
What the
it.
fuck do you do with Rudy in this series? This nigga's playing
Okay,
drop, and we
okay,
got Nas Reed burning a fucking blunt on the bench, nigga, that he could be switching on all these niggas. Rudy
okay.
Gobert's gonna get fucking fried.
Of course, and I told you that before this shit started. I was like, yo, literally, I feel like a prophet, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, not even to my home, but I was like, yo, bro, game one, I like Mavs. They're gonna press the fuck out of Rudy Gobert on that drop, and they're gonna make Timberwolves have to come back game two and make some decisions on what the fuck do we want to do. Do we want to continue leaning on this size and hope that it pays off on the other end, or do we want to now, you know what I'm saying, go the Nas Reed route? You know what I'm saying? Do we want to now go to Nas Reed route? So you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, at the end of the day, the NBA is a game of matchups. This is also the problem. The
Yeah, but I think
problem the problem with these Mavs is like, bro, the
we're
nigga is playing drop coverage against Luca Irvin, Luca Doncic, and Kyrie
Luka
Irving.
Irving, nigga. That's what
Like,
it looks like.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, it's
Yo,
brain's not
cheese,
Yeah, you
on.
said it right. You said
cheese,
it right.
cheese,
Luca Irvin.
cheese. That shit had a ring to it, huh?
That shit got a ring to it. That's a good way to put it. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
So no, I'm
that's
just
what it
saying that's the
feels
pro-
like.
like
Just
that's the
Luka
problem.
Irving
He's
out
just
there,
like, bro,
nigga.
this is the worst. Like even because look, even against the Nuggets with Jamal Murray and Jokic on that pick and roll, even though they really didn't run that as much as I thought,
But it's
partly because
different. It's
McDaniel's is
different,
making it
ops.
tough.
No, it's different.
There's,
So
there's
with the Nuggets, they wanna be able to get that ball to
To
Joker.
Jokic, yeah, to
These
Jokic. So they
niggas
want
could
to
give
play
a
through him.
fuck. They could care less if they give it to PJ. Gaff. They don't want
Of
the niggas even
course,
touching the ball. But the Nuggets, the whole objective is get it to this nigga and then run
of
offense. They're not doing
course,
that.
of course.
They give it to these
But that
niggas because they
like
trap them. They have to give it to them. That's the right play. But they don't want to have these niggas with the ball. These
Joe,
niggas
I'm
want it.
all the way in
So
agreement with you. As long as you acknowledge that that's in this series. That's you know what I'm saying. That's in this
not
series
facts.
yeah,
That's a
this
fact.
is
because you know what I'm saying. Like
a
and
different
that's what
matchup.
bro. It's a game of
Ops, I want to touch on
matchups.
something on that part too, though. Go ahead. So finish up.
Go ahead,
So
though, B.
ops,
You want to touch on the matchups or whatever?
they weren't even getting away from Joker. They was sticking on Joker, letting this nigga go right through, letting Murray be the scorer They didn't even want this nigga to be running offense. They didn't want Joker to be running offense. They didn't want him to get that little free
Wait,
throw, be able to start the offense right there from the free throw line. They didn't even care that they were running
wait,
the
who
pick
you
and
ta-
roll. They weren't getting off Joker.
what you talking about? You talking about the Timberwolves? That's how they was playing the defense.
Right. So they can't. They obviously they can't do that same thing because they're not going to be running the offense through these centers. They're going to trap, and then they're going to have their play that take their
No,
chances with Gafford and the other nigga running that from the
so
free throw line,
there's
get
a
it to the corner, start it out. You know what I mean?
it's a different style of play. I feel like Joker brought the ball up a lot against the Timberwolves because they were hounding Jamal Murray, so they adjusted by not having Jamal Murray bring out the ball.
Yeah,
They
so
have
it
Joker
changed.
bring
It
out the
And
changed
it's
ball.
so,
exact.
that's
So
what
it
I
ch-
want to touch on. You said something, Goose. Remember that. Hounding. Remember you said that.
Yeah,
Go
they were
ahead.
hounding.
Continue. Sorry.
They were hounding. Yeah, it's a different style of match. I'm just one of this. Like, this is like this Dallas team. But the thing is, you know what's
this is the ideal team that's gonna give a guy like Rudy Gobert problems. You know what I'm saying?
yes and
It's the
no.
ideal team. Of
Yes
course it
and
is,
no.
bro.
Yes, because he plays the drop coverage and he's not really like he's easy to manipulate in that pick and roll going to the basket. That's what I'm trying to
Especially
say.
if your
And
name is
then
Luka Irvin.
yeah, and then the other thing is now they have like the Mavericks, like Diomar said the other day, like the Mavericks do have goofs where you could put Rudy on one of them. They're gonna send the paint. Rudy's gonna send the paint, and that's gonna benefit the Timberwolves. But he gets manipulated so easy off the pick and roll. He's not like these guys are the cream of the crop, bro. Like these guys, like if you're not that nigga, bro, really altering niggas' shots, these niggas are gonna kill you going downhill, bro. These niggas, this ain't Michael Porter Jr. and Caldwell Pope, bro.
Oh,
Like
exactly.
this is
This is exactly the point. And
Now,
they're
and
gonna
and real quick, they're not gonna the goose that you're alluding to the Mavs got. They're not gonna sit in the paint. They're gonna be setting that screen all the time so they can bring home big ass Rudy
yeah
out of that fucking paint.
yeah, but
You know
they're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying?
yeah, but they're not
They,
gonna pop. They're not gonna pop. So
no, they're not
when
gonna pop. They're definitely not gonna pop. But
yeah,
they're not gonna
so
just
what?
sit in a dunker spot
No, no, I
like
know.
Aaron Gordon. They're gonna come
Yeah.
up and you know what I'm saying, set screens.
No,
They
I
and
know.
you
What I'm saying is, no, I know. I understand, but I'm saying if a big's gonna pop off the screen, then that forces the switch on defense. So now Rudy is on the island with Kaya and Luca, but the fact
that's
that
where
the fact that
Kleber.
this yeah, that's what
Ah,
Cleveland. Yeah, but the fact that the Dallas centers don't pop, they just keep playing the pick and roll. Then Luca gets a nigga on his back. Then when the nigga gets on his back, is a 2-on-1. So
Cleaver's still not back though, right?
it's easy
nah,
to
he's not
Nah,
manipulate.
he's
back.
still out.
Now he's
They're
done.
saying
He's day
maybe
to
game
day
three,
though.
but
He's day to
yeah, they're
day.
saying maybe game three, but I think they
Yeah.
just
It's done.
gassing it.
Imagine Dallas against
Yo,
the
when you guys
Celtics in the
finish,
This
let me. I
finals.
game
want to ask
three,
Cheese a question.
Go ahead,
yeah.
bro.
Phil,
Go ahead.
let me step in, Goose, because
Oh yeah, go ahead.
like I've been wanting to talk to Ops about this for a while. About so the comparison between I have a lot, Ops, that I've been wanting to talk to you about in regarding these two series. The first thing I don't know, Joe, if I necessarily agree with what you were saying. For me, I saw something drastic in that series versus the Nuggets versus this one, and I think you guys are going to agree. When they were hounding Jamal Murray, you guys know that when you guys play with someone, what's something you hear a lot when you can differentiate players in their skill set. Can a player be sped up? Hounding Luca and
Oh yeah,
Kai, you're not speeding those guys up.
yeah.
Okay, this is not
That's what
happening.
I
You
was
No,
guys
gonna
know
no,
it,
ask you.
not Kyrie.
and
That's
they'll
what I
beat
was
Yeah,
gonna
you in
ask
the
you, Cheese.
mid-range area.
nah,
Jamal
they're
Murray is a good
killers.
player. He's a good mid-range player. But what I saw was eye-opening to me that last series. He was being sped up by when Anthony decided to pick him up full court and what McDaniels picked him up. That disrupted the flow of the offense. Not
Yeah,
only did they
I
Yeah, that's
learned
why I
some
had
disrupt
Joker
things.
bringing it up.
I
um
learned some things about Jamal last series.
yeah. And so they
Still
not
great
only
player.
did they do that, they did an effective job, and I articulated it to you guys of maneuvering the screens, which I thought was like I never seen people get over Joker screens usually. They were doing that effectively.
Yeah, they
So
were,
now,
especially the
once
first
that
game.
happened, I was like, oh shit, that's not gonna happen this series. Why? Nobody speeds up Luca. nobody speeds up Kyrie. So I think when we're blaming, we're giving the credit for not saying we here, Ops or anyone here, but putting the credit to Gobert in that series versus now Gobert being the weakness in this series. I don't see it that way. It's more so the guards, the wing defenders for the Wolves, to me, were able to disrupt the Nuggets' main offense, which is a very potent pick and roll. They disrupted the ball handler, which was Murray. That's not going to happen here. You know what I'm saying? Luka and Kai might have off nights, but it's not going to be due to disruption. They're just going to miss shots. I always tell you, everyone has off nights. But
Yeah,
that was the first thing, Ops.
that's why I think. That's why. Hold on, D, real quick.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with it. That's why I think George, because George said that Dallas might win today, is because these niggas went off, and Dallas as a team couldn't make a shot besides Kyrie and Luka. So if they make a shot today, then yeah, they might win. But go ahead. It has nothing to do with
I
what
was
George said.
I was gonna bring that up as well, Goose. I
Go
can't front. That's what always that was also alarming to me about game one, where Luka and Kai played awesome, but guess what, Goose? Towns and Edwards didn't play awesome, and it was still a close game. So to
Yep.
me, obviously I'm rooting
the-
for the Mavs, but that was scary to me, right?
The role players.
Um,
Okay, someone's
yeah.
going crazy.
Was it Ops? That was
Hold on, my shit's bugging out.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
but so role players for Timberwolves went crazy, and then